At first, you're in a Ferrari, driving at 150 miles per hour. Then, these are the football players who almost died. First on the list, we got Cristiano Ronaldo. Just 3 days after buying his dream car, an accident changed his life forever. The date was January 8th in 2009. It was an unusual morning for Ronaldo because his coach were calling him for an early practice after Manchester United had a heartbreaking loss. So when the team was ready, Cristiano was not. The teammates were counting on him to be there, but he was nowhere to be found. Well, Ronaldo overslept, and eventually he did wake up and see all the notifications he got from Sir Alex. So he jumped out of bed immediately. Now we all know that Cristiano takes his game seriously, so he was in a big hurry. So not showing up to a practice, that was unacceptable for him. He only had 20 minutes to drive across the city to the training ground, but he did not want to disappoint his team. He went to his garage and took the fastest car he could find, but getting in that car would be one of the biggest regrets of his life.
This is Cristiano Ronaldo's £150,000 Ferrari, and it's a write-off.
Somehow, Ronaldo didn't get hurt, and footage of him was taken when he left the training ground later that afternoon. It was a miracle. Back in 2017, Messi was filled with adrenaline as he was about to play one of his biggest matches of his career. Barcelona was going to meet Juventus in a heavily anticipated Champions League matchup, and Juventus had already won the first match 3-0. So Messi knew that if he didn't cook, Barcelona would head home. The two teams gave everything in the match because one of the teams were heading to the semifinals. Then, Messi was about to head the ball, but that nearly cost his entire life. Messi almost lost more than just the Champions League that day. He almost lost his life. The doctors said that if he would have landed just 2 millimeters higher, that neck injury would have killed him. So despite Barcelona losing that game, Messi was a very lucky man. But most accidents happen outside the football pitch, like the accident for the Brazilian footballer Matheus Silva. He nearly lost his life on vacation. On 4th of July in 2017, he and some of his teammates wanted to go to the beach. They knew that the beach would be crowded later in the afternoon, and they also had a match later that day. Therefore, they went to the beach at around 6:30 a.m. Matheus was so excited to go swim that he ran out in the water. At first, his teammates thought he was joking until he got under the water. They ran into the water to take Matheus up on the beach. He was not breathing, and he had not pulse. A lifeguard tried giving CPR, but it didn't work, so they had no choice.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
2 days later, Matheus woke up, but he was confused, dazed, and it turned out he was in a coma. See, when he jumped into that lake, he was so excited that he didn't notice that the water was freezing. So when he got into the water, his body went into shock, and it caused his heart to stop. I mean, he was really lucky his boys were there to rescue him. When one of his teammates, Chris Wondolowski, found out that he was going to be okay, he wore Matheus Silva's shirt number 38 in the next game, and he even scored a goal. Drowning is something that lives with you forever, but not even making it to your first birthday? Well, that was Neymar's reality. What happened in 1992 scarred him for life, literally. At the time, Neymar was only 4 months old. Him, his dad, and his mom were driving to visit some relatives, but that's when things turned upside down. It was raining so much that they couldn't even see what was in front of them. The storm could not get worse. Then, they saw car light coming towards them. Neymar and his family had been in a car accident. Everybody was hurt, and Neymar's dad remembered everything that road trip. He said, "A car came towards me and I tried to swerve, but it hit us full on my door side. My left leg landed on the other, which dislocated my hip. I said to my wife, 'I'm dying, but where is Neymar Jr.?' The car was hit so hard that Neymar was thrown out of the car, and his family had no idea where he was. Then, out of a sudden, they heard a baby scream. It was Junior, and he was hurt, covered in blood. His head was cut from a piece of glass. They had no choice but to call an ambulance. Later, when Junior's dad found out that he was going to be okay, he could do nothing but pray to God. See, Junior was so young he didn't even understand words or know what was going on.